Welcome to another video, and today we are going to be doing what if Naruto was banished from the village. Now, I'm going to be stopping what if Deku was... I'm not going to be stopping, probably. No, I won't be stopping, but I might be pausing for a bit. I don't know. It depends on how I'm feeling. Maybe I'll stop it. I'll save that maybe tomorrow or something like that. I will hopefully be uploading tomorrow. I do have a orthodontist appointment for my braces I have. I am very petrified. I also feel a bit sick, and I am cleaning a lot, so this will be hopefully a 20 to hour long video. Now, we're gonna just start everything up until the whole Sasuke retrieval arc goes the same. When Naruto fails, he comes back. And this time, instead of Sakura forgiving him and understanding, she's just blind by rage. Okay, useless is like... I'm gonna make Naruto a bit meaner from this, but she's gonna start yelling at Naruto and calling him useless, that he couldn't even save her, Sasuke couldn't. And that's when Naruto says, "Oh yeah, well, maybe you should have gone and tried to save him." "Oh wait, you can't because you're useless." And let's say that Ino's right next to him, and let's say Shikamaru and Choji are there as well, and they kind of start to giggle. And Sakura's saying, "What do you know, Ino pig? Aren't you hurt that Sasuke-kun isn't back?" Saying, "Yeah, I am hurt, but there's other men in this world, as well as you didn't even try to go. You need to stop obsessing over him." Sakura's saying, "Well, you don't even know. Stop trying to sue for Naruto. He's useless." So that's when Naruto says, "Oh yeah, Sakura, how come you have billboard brow?" Hearing this is starting to laugh out loud, and so does Shikamaru and Choji, and Sakura gets mad and walks off saying that, "Naruto, I wish that you were gone instead of Sasuke." Naruto, hearing this, gets mad, and that's when Nine-Tails chakra starts to pour out of him, and he goes into his one-tail state. That's when he says, "Sakura, this is your fault. You're making me mad." Sakura saying, "You're just a monster." And that's when all of a sudden you see Sakura get flung into another building. Naruto be able to control the One-Tail's rage, I'm pretty sure. And him just going out of it, powering down, and so Hokage, hearing the loud bang, looks out and sees, and let's say it happens to be a building next to the Hokage mansion, and sees Sakura there. Sakura saying, "Naruto's a monster." Then she passes out with the Tsunade calling in Naruto and Shikamaru, Choji, and go along. Her asking what happened to Sakura. Naruto saying that Sakura started to be rude to him because he couldn't get Sasuke. It's not his fault. She kept calling, and would say, "Yeah, it's not his fault." And she kept calling Naruto a monster and other stuff like that. She said that he was useless, and then she said that she'd rather Naruto been gone than Sasuke, and then he flipped out, and then she said that he's a monster, and then he ended up punching her into a wall, not trying to, and Naruto said, "I wasn't trying to hurt her that much. I guess I didn't notice that I had a Nine-Tails chakra around me." And that's when the Hokage would say, "Naruto, I understand. It's not kind of Sakura. It won't punish Sakura. It seems to be punished enough. We will just ignore this." And Danzo, overhearing this, says, "I'll get that Nine-Tailed brat out of here." And let's say that Jiraiya's on his way, and he'll be there in the afternoon, but that's when meetings held by the council, and they say that the Danzo starts by saying, "Naruto Uzumaki must be banished from this village." Tsunade standing up and saying, "Why?" And that's when the two elders would say, "I understand what you're saying, Danzo. He wasn't able to help Sasuke Uchiha. He wasn't able to get him back, as well as he injured a young child today." So I think that you don't know what that child's done to him. And that's when the elders say, "Tell me." That's when she explains, and they say, "Doesn't matter. you don't go to violence. And that's when she would say, oh yeah, how about you two geezers? You always go to violence no matter what. That's when they say, we don't go to violence, but you do, Tsunade. We say one thing wrong, you'll go up and try to punch us. That's when she's about to, but then she realizes what their thing says. Fine. And that's when there's a charge held, and Danzo says, we'll vote to see if Naruto's banished, with the two elders, Danzo, Hiyashi, and a few others voting for Naruto to go out, but Shikaku, I'm pretty sure that's how you say it, Shikamaru's dad, Choji's Choza, Shikaku, I'm pretty sure, Shikaku, or something like that, I forget, Shikaku, I don't know how you say it, it sounds like Shikaku, I'm pretty sure, and, Tsunade, the only ones voting for him to say, voting for him to say, and that's when the council calls Naruto, and Naruto saying, hello, what is it, Granny Tsunade? And that's when Danzo speak up and say, Naruto Uzumaki, you are banished from the village. Naruto hearing this says, well, why? And so I saying that Danzo, the elders, and some others of the council voted you out. Only me, Shikamaru's father, where she say his name, and Choza voted for you to stay in. Actually, and she knows that, I'm pretty sure is in there. That's when he would get kind of mad. He would say, I understand. I failed a single mission. Now, what Danzo's saying, it wasn't just a single mission. This was the first Sasuke Uchiha, the last Uchiha we had. And that's when Naruto says, yeah, because you just want the Sharingan to fully be developed. Don't think it can't sense all those high chakra points in your arm. That's when Danzo's getting mad. He's about to attack him, so I saying, stop, Danzo. Naruto, what are you saying? Naruto says there are about 10 high chakras in his, I'm pretty sure, left arm. As well as there's a high chakra in his, I'm pretty sure, left eye as well. He would say, they feel like what Sasuke had, but stronger. His Sharingan eyes, but stronger. That's when Jinai would say, Danzo, you have anything to add to this? Danzo saying, Air Bullet Jutsu, and he is about to kill Naruto, but that's when, whatever you call it, that's when Tsunade would jump in and use Air Force from her punches to combat it, her saying, Danzo, what were you thinking? Danzo saying, sorry, I got mad. Her saying, reveal that arm of yours. Danzo saying, I don't think I will, Tsunade. The grandmother saying, yeah, he doesn't have to. And that's when Dry would step in and say, what's going on? And why is Naruto here? And that's when Danzo would say, he's being banished from the village. Dry looking at Tsunade saying, how could you let this happen? Tsunade saying, well, there's only 4 of us that voted for him to say, me, whatever Shikamaru's father's name is. Actually, let me look that up. So, yeah, it is Shikaku. Oh, I also got the Shark Sign Fortnite as well as Kit. Anyways, so Shikaku, so Tsunade would say herself, Shikaku, the Choza, and whoever she knows that is. I'm not looking that because I don't give a fuck. Voted for him to say. And that's when Dry would get angry and say, Danzo brought this up, didn't he? Danzo looking menacingly at Dry, and he would say, why? And that's when Naruto would say, there's something suspicious about him. I felt a whole bunch of chakra signatures in his left arm and his left eye, almost as if they were Sharingan. Shari hearing this says, Danzo, to think you would do that. Danzo would say, and Tsunade would say, what do you mean? That's when Dry would say, the elders of the council and Danzo were the only ones left from that day of the Asker Lucia who might know anything about it. And isn't it suspicious that Itachi would just go there and kill his clan? Wouldn't it be made that he would ordered to be killed? And that's when Jiraiya would say, and that Jiraiya said, I meant Naruto says, I don't get it. And that's when Shikaku thinks, yeah. Naruto said that they were high chakra points, just like Sharingan in his eye, in his arm and left eye. Wouldn't that mean that he could summon Sharingan? And that's when the elders would say, Danzo will never do such a thing. And that's when they would all leave, and that's when Danzo would just pick up and say, Naruto Uzumaki, you were banished from the village. And that's when he hears, when this happens, there's an announcement to the village that Naruto Uzumaki is to be banished. Well, no, just the people, the regular villagers. Why? Because plot armor. Yeah, that's when everybody starts looking at him, and the Sakura hates him right now. She hates him. She hopes that he dies. And that's when Ino sees everybody staring at Naruto worse now. And that's when Ino asks, what's happening? Naruto, why are they all staring at you? Naruto saying, I'm banished from this village. She would say, wait, what? Why? Oh yeah, I forgot. Inoichi also voted for Naruto, so yeah, I forgot. Okay, I forgot. So that's when she would say, why are you out? He would say, because most of the council voted for me to stay out. There's only your father, Shikamaru's father, Choji's father, Shino's father, and Lee Tsunade, and Granny Tsunade that asked for me to stay, that told for me to stay. She would say, what? Why don't they want you to stay? And he would say, 1, because I'm the Nine Tails, I guess he would say. 2, because I was the checkful and know that there's something wrong with one of the council members, one of the higher up ones. And 3, Sasuke was gone. And 4, I end up punching Sakura through a whole bunch of buildings into a wall. And now she's in the hospital. Now let's just say that they're next to the hospital and Sakura's looking out the window and hears this and says, Hi, Naruto, you're out of the village. How much does this suck now? That's when Naruto's about to attack, but let's say that Tsunade happens to be walking by and actually happens to be walking to Naruto to help him pack up then. And this is the way to his house, and she hears this and says, Sakura, what are you saying? I will take your headband away from that. You're not to be rude to somebody. This isn't his fault. And that's when Naruto would say, Sakura, maybe if you want, you could have changed his mind. Oh, I forgot, you're too weak. And that's when Sakura would say, I'm not weak. Just fight me and you'll see. Naruto saying, look at what one punch of mine did to you. And that's when Sakura would say, you were probably trying to get over your hardest. It probably hurt you back. Because I punched your arm. And that's when he says, you did? And, Naruto would just say, whatever. And he would just walk out and he would pack up with Tsunade saying that she's sorry, and Jiraiya and Naruto and Tsunade going to Hokage's mansion. That's when Jiraiya walks in and he has his normal headband, his actual leaf headband, and actually no. His leaf headband is sitting there on the desk, and it's broken up, and it says, don't expect me to be back. And that's when actually no, Jiraiya walks in and says, don't expect me to come back to this village. And that's when, so I would say, why Jiraiya? And that's when I would say, this is the last thing I have of my student here. And this is the last thing people have of Minato here. other than his head carving. Or that nobody has nothing of him left over. And he is getting banished from his village. If people knew that this was Minato's child, then he wouldn't be out. And that's when Tsunade says he would still be out. It doesn't matter. Danzo's evil and wicked. He corrupts people. And that's when Tsunade says it's old man's fault for not telling him. I mean, he always had Anbu on Naruto. Why couldn't they have just fought the people that were going to come after him? I'm sure we'd even have the fourth Raikage's help with this. The fourth Raikage's help with this. Even he would have tried to protect Naruto, seeing how he was the stronger of his rival. The son of his rival. And that's when Kakashi was up in, actually, no, not Kakashi, that's when Danzo was up and saying, Brat, it's time for you to go. And that's when Tsunade would say, he doesn't get to go yet. And that's when he would say, it's okay, Granny Tsunade. I know this old geezer just wants me out. Don't worry, he'll see karma coming to him. I know that he's hiding something on his left body. Something bad. Something that'll strike him back in the future. Something that'll make him die because of it. But however, and that's when he starts walking out with Jiraiya telling him wait, and he starts following. And that's when Danzo walks out, and Kakashi walks in, seeing Jiraiya suddenly and say, wait, Tsunade, Lady Tsunade, what's happening? And Tsunade would say that Danzo had a meeting and they were voting for Naruto to go. They were voting whether for Naruto to get banished or not for failing his mission, as well as punching Sakura through multiple walls into a building. And she would say that she would explain about the people that helped him and all that, because I don't feel like he repeatedly going through is stupid. And she would explain that the headband there is Jiraiya's, because it has two horns going through it, I'm pretty sure. And he would say, wait, why is Master Jiraiya leaving? He would say that he said that Naruto is the last thing Minato left in this village. That's his godson, he cares about him. And Kashi would say, it's just not right for Naruto to leave. He's a member of this village just like anybody else. And that's when Tsunade would say, yeah, but even the people saw that Naruto punched her out. They hate him more than anything. That's when they all know that Naruto's getting banished. They're probably gonna, no. And that's when Kakashi says Tsunade, that's when Kakashi says, Tsunade, we just have to meet me at the front gate at 8 o'clock. And that's when, so Naruto has to leave by 8 o'clock, so Naruto and Jiraiya are heading towards the gate, and everybody's waiting there for them to go. And, Sakura walks out and she says, I'm only coming because I get to see that stupid Naruto gone, the weakling. And Jiraiya's saying, she's a little snippy brat, isn't she? Sakura hearing this says, whatever, old man, you don't even know what you're talking about. I'm probably stronger than you. That's when that's when Shikamaru would say, Sakura, that is one of the three legendary Sani, Jiraiya. And Sakura would say, how come you're with Naruto, Master Jiraiya? That's when Jiraiya would say, I'm his godfather. Well, anyways, we must be going. That's when Naruto would hug everybody and say goodbye, and this is going to be Naruto, you will see. And then he hugs hugs him back, and they say their goodbyes. And so I would say that she'll try to get him back. Naruto saying that there's no need to get him back, and he would leave the village. And of course, Hinata, being really hurt about this, but even being more hurt to know that her father even voted for Naruto to be off. And that's when she would rush to her house saying, "Father, why would you vote for Naruto to be out?" And he would say, "Because he's the demon brat that killed most of our clan." And that's when he would say, he is not the demon. The demon's within him. Naruto himself is not a demon. That's when, she would say, he punched a girl through multiple walls into a building. That's when, obviously, because she was bad-mouthing him and disrespecting him. Yeah, she would say, whatever, it doesn't make the difference. It's not like it's not like he would do us any good. And that's when, that's when all of a sudden people would go out and it would say that, well, it's kind of like the news, but it would say that, it's kind of like the news, pretty much. It would say that the Hidden Village's strongest weapon, the Nine Tails, has been banished. And that's when, she would say, that kid is not the strongest weapon of the leaf. And that's when they would say, also, one of the 3 legendary Sannin, Jiraiya, has left the village, leaving the Hidden Leaf Village with only 1 Sannin. And everybody reading this would be like, wait, why would Jiraiya leave? And that's when it would say, Jiraiya is Naruto Uzumaki's godfather, and it was the last thing left of when he left because his godson was banished. And also seeing this feels more bad, and that's when one day you would see everybody there, and then that's when Sakura would be talking to some people, and they would say, "God, so annoying. How could she even care about Naruto?" That's when some other people would say, "Yeah, why would she even care about that guy? He's just a freak, a demon." And hearing this says, "What are you guys talking about?" And that's when Sakura would say, "So how much we hate you. Like, what's the point of caring for him?" And that's when she would say, "Why are you being so mean, Sakura? You're just being a jerk because you know that Sasuke has more affection for Naruto than you." That's when she would say, "That's hilarious that you think it like that. All except he doesn't." That's when... Also, I forgot the intro. I'm sorry. I'm stupid and I can't edit through this. And I'm gonna restart it. Nope. So anyways, that's when Sakura said, "You may as well go with him," and start kissing all over him. Hearing this starts to turn red, and Sakura saying, "You actually like him?" He would say, "I thought you liked Sasuke-kun." And that's when, would say, "You have to learn to get over people, Sakura. Your obsession goes way too far. It's just one man." Yeah, and that's when some of the other people who were girls and that didn't make the academy would say, "Oh yeah, that's Sasuke. He's the strongest and best person in the world." And that's what she would say. "He's weaker than Naruto. Naruto probably only lost because he couldn't unlock his full potential yet." That's when they would ask, "What you mean?" Her saying that, "Well, Naruto was the 9 tails. He only let out 1 tail when he was fighting Sasuke. What if he let out 2 tails? Would he be able to kill Sasuke?" And they would say, "Don't talk about Sasuke dying. Sasuke will never die." And that's where she would say, "Whatever." And they would start going, and Ina would run out of the village with, Ichi being worried that her daughter wasn't there. Also, going after Naruto. And that's when she would get a notice from Shikamaru's father that Shikamaru's and Choji would go over there, and they would say that Ina left because the people that were being rude to Naruto, started being rude to her, and now she's gone to look for Naruto and go with him. You know what, you're hearing this, gets kind of mad but understands and says, Yeah, but Shikamaru would say, well, she said, because she would have probably seen Shikamaru Choji. She said that she'll be back with Naruto. Of course, she won't be gone forever. I know she hearing this gets calmed down and says, okay then. And, that's when more news goes around saying that Ino Yamanaka has left the village in search for Naruto Uzumaki and Master Jiraiya. Everybody getting sick of this news about Naruto. But then but let's say the next day, this is the next day, it continues on with, during the night, people that know Naruto don't care about him or missing him a lot, but that's when, you would look out of, that's when we go to Shikamaru and Choji's view, who would be there, and they would hear a lot of partying, and then you'd look out and it would be a huge floaty, well, not a huge floaty, but there would be a gigantic party going on throughout the villagers, and they would see Sakura, and they would go down and say, Sakura, what is this? And Sakura saying that she planned a big party for Naruto being gone, and that's when he would say, how low can you get? And that's when Tsunade would show up and ask Shikamaru, Choji, and Sakura what's going on. Shikamaru saying that Sakura is making a gigantic party throughout the leaf because Naruto's gone. Tsunade hearing this is even more mad and says, Sakura, why would you do this? Her saying that it's all Naruto's fault why Sasuke's gone. It's all Naruto's fault. And that's when she would say that she would call on Anbu, and Anbu would start raiding the party, and that's when there would be a huge statement, the Hokage loudspeaker saying that this party is going to be stopped. And that's when some people heard her, but they say, that's when they say that it doesn't matter that demon fox is gone, and they would keep partying and stuff, and that's when everybody who was trying to sleep is gone, and then that's when Kakashi walks out and sees a whole bunch of giant banners and stuff that say the Nine-Tails brat is gone, and he would get even more mad about this. All of the people get mad about this. Even Kind and instantly would get angry about this. And then she would go up saying that this is wrong. This shouldn't be happening. Somebody being banished from the village isn't good. And that's when Sakura would go on loudspeaker and say, everybody, the party has just begun. We're gonna have a new game called Kill the Naruto. And that's when all of a sudden a giant boom could be heard. And that's when you'd see a giant crater with Tsunade's fist in the ground. And that's when she would start saying that, actually no, she would destroy the festival pretty much. And she would say that this isn't right, what you guys are doing is wrong. By the Hokage, you're now allowed to do this anymore. It's messed up. It's messed up to do that. Naruto's not the Nine-Tails. He has inside him them saying it's all the same. He acts like he threw that little girl through buildings. And that's when she would say, you guys really are bad. No wonder why Jiraiya left, and Jiraiya, Naruto, and Ino left. You guys are monsters. This village is corrupt, and that's when Danzo would walk up and say, Slate Princess Tsunade, you shouldn't be doing these things. And that's when she would say, why? And Danzo would say, it's a really good time for Naruto, for that demon brat to be out. And so now hearing this is about to attack, that's when Danzo Zombie would pop in front. Them saying, sorry, Lady Hokage, but you're not allowed to attack Lord Danzo. That's when she would say, I don't think so. And that's when Tsunade Zombie, which are stronger, is going to be it's gonna be Yamato and, let's say, I don't know, somebody strong, somebody who's random and stronger. They would say, and you may not talk back to Leo Kage. And that's when the Zanbu would start fighting, but of course Tsunade Zanbu would win, and that's when Tsunade would say the party's over and everybody would end it with everybody waking up and realizing again that Naruto's gone and being even more happy. And that's when they would remember what's united, and then they would start to think that they could ride against Tsunade, and that's when a big vote would be going out, and people would be voting for, guess what, Tsunade not to be Hokage anymore. Dun dun dun. And if enough people sign this petition, then Tsunade won't be able to be Hokage anymore. And that's when a few days pass, and I'll get to Naruto in a second, but Tsunade is not made Hokage, and Danzo says made Hokage. And that's when Danzo says, my first thing in this is anybody is Tsunade, you are banished from this village, just like Naruto Uzumaki, as well as Jiraiya. And that's when he would say, so I'm naming Naruto Uzumaki, Ino Yamanaka, Naruto Uzumaki, Ino Yamanaka, Jiraiya, and Tsunade Senju, because I don't know Jiraiya's last name, as Rogue Ninja. And this goes out to all the villages, and that's when it would eventually reach Orochimaru saying that, Jiraiya, Tsunade, the Nine-Tails Brat are all Rogue Ninja now. I wonder what happened. That's when he would see that Danzo was the 6th Hokage, and that's when he would say, it's hilarious. Danzo's the Hokage. This is the most hilarious thing I've ever seen. And that's when we switch over to Inoichi's view, and he would see that Ino was made of Rogue Ninja. He would get angry about this, but he knows not to mess with Danzo. But there's some people who didn't sign the petition, like, that are trying to get stuff about Danzo. They're trying to get dirt all over him. But I'll be back in a second. Ouch. And this is when he would switch over to Naruto's view with, the paper being flown. So after the paper would be going flying in their face, Jiraiya would read it, and Naruto says Naruto tripping off the branches because they happen to be traveling like ninjas now, and he would fall on the ground. Jiraiya asking what happened, Naruto. Naruto saying that the paper in his face. Naruto started to read and saying, we're all Rogue Ninja, as well as Tsunade, as well as Granny Tsunade is a Rogue Ninja. And Jiraiya would say, what? And that's when Naruto would read that wicked Danzo guy is the Hokage now. Jiraiya hearing this says, this isn't good. Asking what's happening, and them explaining and saying, what? I can't be Rogue Ninja. And that's when Naruto says, it's okay, we can make it through it. I know a village that we can go to. We can go to the Hidden Sand Village, where Gaara is. And that's when she would say, I don't know. Wouldn't Gaara just, they just report us? And that's when he would say, good point. And Jiraiya would say, I think I have an idea of a village that we can go to. And Naruto would say, who? What village? And that's when he would say, the Hidden Cloud Village. Now, what's special about this Hidden Cloud Village is that, well, the man who was the Raikage there, was the rival to your father. You're just saying, wow, my father's really that strong, and that's when Jiraiya would say, oh, well, now that you're a Rogue Ninja, there's no point in hiding from you. Your father is the 4th Hokage, Minato Namikaze. And let me take a break quickly. And that is when Naruto would say, wait, wow. So that means that I could become as strong as my father. Jiraiya would say, Naruto, you could be even stronger than him. I have a few ideas on how you can improve that. Rasengan though. Naruto would say, what do you mean? And Jiraiya would say that your father entrusts you with completing the Rasengan, as well as I took a few scrolls from the Hokage's office. One being the scroll sealing. Naruto would say, oh yeah, I've seen that one before. That's how I learned the multi-Shaolin Jutsu. Jiraiya would say, wait, what? Naruto would say, oh yeah, I stole it from Gramps. And that's when Jiraiya would say, yes, well, anyways, here's the Rasengan is in here, but you already know that. And I'm gonna give Naruto, so I'm gonna give him wind, water, lightning, and I want to say fire also. I won't give him fire, but I'm gonna give him water, lightning, and wind chakra. Because he's gonna be stronger than this by far. Forgot to get this out of here. So what would happen next is Naruto. They would start looking in the first scroll, which would have something called the Flying Thunder God. And Naruto asks what this one is. It looks cool. And that's when Jiraiya would say, this is the one that your father specialized in. He didn't make it like the Rasengan, but he did in fact use it a lot. This was made by the second Hokage along with many other jutsu. That's when he would say, I took a few scrolls. I believe that we need to check your types, your chakra types first. And that's when they would take the sheet and it would show it getting wet, turning in half, and something that lightning comes out. I forget. But it does pretty much what water, lightning, and wind do. And he would say, well, you have 3 chakra natures. He would say, okay, you take this one. I don't actually know what those chakra natures are, so let me look quickly. It would have earth, fire, and water. So it would do something that earth does, I forget, and then it would catch on fire with that. Well, no. It would burn up and then water down. And that's when Jiraiya would say, so, you also have 3 chakra natures. Earth, fire, and water. That's good. You and Naruto can train with water together. And saying that's amazing. And that's when Jiraiya would say, well, Naruto, first I want to have one jutsu for you and one jutsu for Ino to learn. That's when Jiraiya would say, Naruto, in the second scroll there, let's say the scroll of lightning, he gives it to Naruto and he says, Naruto, choose one. That's when Naruto would see a move called the Thunder Dragon or something like that. I'm pretty sure it's Thunder Dragon Jutsu. Actually, no. Yeah. And he would say, so, what's this? And then that's when Jiraiya would say, I'm pretty sure you've seen your sensei Kakashi do it. And that's when Jiraiya would say, it's pretty much, you make a lightning dragon out of your chakra. And that's when Naruto would say, cool, I want to learn this one. And that's when he would give something, he would say, here's the fire scroll, Actually, no, here's an earth scroll, lone one. And she would say, earth sound mud wall looks nice. She would ask what that is, and that's when Jiraiya would say, well, depending on how much chakra you have, you can make a mud wall. If you have a small amount of chakra, or if you're trying to only use small route, you can make a single, only little bit of thickness and wideness. But if you want to use a lot, you can make a giant wall and much thickness. But it also depends on how much chakra you have. She would say, okay, I will learn that one. And then that's when, let's say, Tsunade happens to be going that way, and the word hasn't gone to the villages, that dance with Hokage. It's actually going there now. That's when they would say bird passed by, but then they'd also hear somebody walking, jumping through trees, and then they would see somebody leap over them. That's when they would take the scrolls. Well, no, they would summon the scrolls to Mount Myoboku, dry wood, and then they'd start attacking. And then Tsunade would hear this, and then she'd turn around and throw air pressure towards them, and then she would notice white hair go around, and she would see that that looked like Jiraiya's hair, and then it would block, and then spiked nails would go towards her dodging, and then going up to punch him, but that's when their fists would grab, and Jiraiya would see that Tsunade would see that it was Jiraiya, and they'd stop. Them asking what's happening. Tsunade, why are you going after that bird? Tsunade saying that's the bird that's gonna go to all the. Well, that's the bird that's gonna go to the village hidden in the cloud. And she would say, what? Why do you want it? And that's when she would say, well, I was planning on going there and staying. Me and the Raikage have a bit of history, and that's when actually there's a secret here that only Tsunade knows about. And that is, she's going to be Minato's mother. Naruto's going to be Senju and not Namikaze. But everybody thought that Minato was Namikaze. And then, Naruto would say, actually, we're going there. Granny Tsunade, will you come with us? And Tsunade would say, of course. And that's when she would say, but we need to go now. And her asking, wait, what were those things that I saw in your hands earlier when I jumped above you? I saw people there with stuff in their hands. And Jiraiya would say, oh yeah, we took a few scrolls from the Hokage office, like the scroll of sealing and each chakra nature scroll. And as well as a few things for Naruto. And also the Yamanaka clan. That's when, and, also I took a few things for the Senju clan. Because reasons. No, we also took things for the Senju clan. That's when I'd say, you know that Naruto can use them? That's when she tried to say, what do you mean Naruto can use them? That's when I'd say, oh yeah, sorry. I didn't tell everybody about this now, but may as well. That's when she would say, well, you see how you thought Minato was a Namikaze? She would say, yeah. That's when she would say, Minato's actually a Senju. She would say, how do you know this? And that's when she would say, well, you know, he's actually my son. My dad's son. And, you know, there's big proof behind this, you know, like chakra natures and stuff and looks, but let's just continue. And he would say, wait, what? And that's when she would say, yeah. And, Naruto would say, wait, so you're my actual grandma, Granny Tsunade? And Tsunade would think about this, says, wait, how did you? And Jiraiya would say that we told him. And that's when, well, whatever. Yes, I am, and also you can. That also means that you are the great grandson of the first Hokage. You're related to the first and second Hokage. Yep, we're just gonna go with that. And then that's when she would say, well, that's when you would hear a voice yell, and it was so loud, and I even would say Naruto said and that's when you would say, I knew it! I felt that blasted first Hokage in this brat. How could I kill you all? Get me out of him! And that's when Jiraiya would carry Naruto in his hair. They would start going after Bear, and Naruto would be meditating, and he would say, what do you want, brat? You're lucky I don't kill you for being related to this first Hokage. Naruto saying, I didn't even know until now. And also, why are you being so rude? That's when Kurama would say, why shouldn't I be your sister, little brat? And Naruto would say, even if I am a 6-year some being, I'd like to be friends with you. Kurama hearing this says, you're just lying to me, you just want my power. I'm just saying, actually, no, it would be nice to have a friend that I could talk to anytime, anywhere. You never know. That's when Karma would say, fine then, if you want to become friends, you have to prove to me something. That's when say what? That's when Karma would say, I'll become your friend when you learn a jutsu called Foxfire. That's when I just say, wait, how would I have fire? How would I learn fire style? That's when I say it's not fire style, it's fox style. Foxfire. There's a few things you can do with it. You can wrap your whole body around it. You can wrap your arm in it, make it into a claw. You can spit out of your mouth. Anything. That's when he would wake up saying, tell your sensei Jiraiya that's in the scroll of sealing. Actually, no, it's in the personal scroll for Naruto. That's what he'd say. Jiraiya sensei. And that's when I'd say, yes, Naruto. And that's when Naruto would say, well, you see, when I was talking to Ninetales, Ninetales told me that I could become his friend if I learned something called Foxfire. He would say, but you don't have, that's when Naruto would say, yeah, I know I don't have fire style, but it's actually something that only I can do because I have the Ninetales. As well as he would say that there's a few things in my scroll. One of them is Foxfire, another one is a summoning jutsu that would take over, that would give me the ability to summon foxes. And that's when Jory would say, wow, and Tsunade would hear over to say, so you do have some abilities with that. As well as you can also learn wood style. And that's when Tsunade would say, I never got to learn it because, well, I never wanted to. But I know that you can learn it. You're just like my grandfather. And that's when I just say, thank you, Granny. Tsunade. And that's when they would start getting faster than the bird, and that's when all of a sudden, Naruto would, lightning would come, Naruto would do something without thinking. He would say, he would say, and he would say something like, spark, and that's when he would say lightning, and that's when lightning would come out of his arm and it would hit the bird. He would say, wait, what just happened? Actually, let's say it took him a day, and Naruto would say, I don't know. Please tell me what happened? Naruto would say, I just said it. That's when Naruto would say, that's when you would hear Kurama speak out. Naruto learned this jutsu while training for the Thunder Dragon Jutsu. That's when he would say, that's when Kurama would say, you must master the Thunder Dragon Jutsu first. That's a stronger jutsu than Foxfire, at least I think. Not than the fox summoning, though. You could summon yourself to the world of the fox, or the world of the furries. Yes, the world of the furries. Sorry, I'm not meaning to be offensive if you are furry. No offense. No offense, okay? I'm not trying to be offensive. And that's when they would continue on their thing with Naruto saying that actually, since I already know the summoning jutsu, I just need to go to the scroll, right? That's when Kurama would say, oh yeah, I forgot I have that scroll. And then that's when Naruto would start meditating again. He'd go into his mind and he would see the scroll, and he would go inside the cage. And Kurama attempting to, well, not attempting, but thinking about attacking him, but not doing it. And so I'm starting to like this kid. I was saying that he is determined to do anything. Not so much he got banished from his village for a stupid reason. That's when he would say, Naruto, let me share something with you. So Naruto would say, what? And that's when Kurama would say that back when you were born and your father was killed by me, I was being controlled. That's when Naruto would say, by who? That's when Kurama would say, by Max Man. He had the Sharingan. and he's probably still alive. He called himself Madara Uchiha. Naruto, hearing this and kind of gets bad chills, and that's when Naruto would sign the agreement, and that's when he would ask them to all to stop since we already hit the bird, and that's when Naruto would say Sonin Jutsu, and then he'd summon the fox, and it would be looking like an Inikurama, and he would say, he would say, hello, Master Naruto. What would you like, Naruto? Say, I was just trying to try out the Sonin Jutsu, and he would start to pet the fox. The fox, liking this, crawls on his lap, and he would keep petting it, and then he'd start talking to Jiraiya and Tsunade and Ino falling asleep throughout their conversation, and that's when Naruto would say, I was hoping for this. And Tsunade asking, what were you hoping for? Naruto would say, if you're gonna fall asleep, I have some information I got from the Nine Tails. And Jiraiya would ask, what is it? Naruto would say, back when my father was killed by him, he was being controlled by a masked man that called himself Madara. Tsunade, Jiraiya, hearing that his mentor was killed by an Uchiha, why it's not the Nine Tails, would be mad, but Tsunade hearing the word, Jiraiya had ignored thought of Madara, but that's when Tsunade would hear the words Madara would freeze up and start saying, but that's impossible. He was killed long ago. That's when you would hear, and so that's when everybody, including Ino, would be teleported in Naruto's mind, by Naruto holding on to them, Ino waking up, and the tiny fox being in there. Let's say this is Kurama's brother. Kurama's saying, not his brother, but his fox brother. No, he was his friend, and that's because Kurama lived in the land of foxes, let's say, until the whole Madara versus Hashirama thing. That's what we're saying for plot armor. That's when Kurama would say, out of all the foxes, I didn't think Naruto would be able to summon you. You are the hardest one to summon. That's when Kurama would say, although it's not surprising, he could summon that big frog, or whatever, his first time doing the summoning jutsu. And that's when, the fox say, hi, and then Kurama tells him to stop, don't say that name yet. That's when he'd say, okay, sorry, I forgot about it, Nine Tails. And that's when he would be quiet and just keep getting pet by Naruto, and Ino waking up, seeing this would kind of start screaming, and Naruto, and then that's when Kurama would say, please be quiet. I already lose it for humans, but since you three people went with, or through the same pain as Naruto, being banished, or in other words, being named as a ninja, and even two of you going with him, and I knew that Tsunade girl wanted to go with him as well, although couldn't. Well, I applaud you for that, and I will not be killing you yet. If you get on my nerves, I will. That's what Naruto would say, and that's when Kurama would show an image of all that happened, of even him knowing that inside the landscape, Kurama can change things. Let's say for plot armor, I use plot armor a lot. Shut up, that's my what if. And that's when he would see, after the fight, Madara was still alive, and Madara would go, and he would go through things, and then they would show Obito. And that's when Jiraiya would say, Obito Uchiha. And then and then he would say, that's all we know except for until here, where you would see a man that looked like he had Obito's hair. Actually, no, not Obito's hair, because Obito's hair's got long. And that's when they would see somebody with what Obito's hair looked like go up and do the whole thing. Cars go release on the 21st. Nice, I don't even know what today is. What is today? Oh no, the 21st is so far away. Isn't it? Yeah, it is. It's like the 6th. Tomorrow. Anyways. So that's when the thing would end, and he would, And then Joy would say, that next man could be Obito Uchiha. And that's when Grandma would say, yes, it could be, but I wouldn't go to conclusions. He would say that Madara was still alive, as well as ready to fight. And that's where we're gonna leave it off, with them being close, with them arriving at the Hidden Cloud Village next day. Actually, they didn't arrive at it yet. Why? Because I need to end off something. So we'll switch to the other side with everybody kind of getting calmed down what's happening, but still the beginning 9, except for Sakura's the beginning 8. Because they don't count Sakura anymore, because they feel like Sakura is just a betrayer to all of them. Actually, 7. Wait, what would it be? Originally it's 12, but Sasuke's gone. So then it became 11. Naruto's gone. Ino's gone. And Sakura's not counted anymore, so yeah, 8. Basically what happens, they would actually, Kashi wouldn't really do anything. He's just sad right now. He's in total depression. He feels like he just lost his lesson of his master. He feels like he just lost another friend. He thinks that he lost a student, a friend, and his master's child. And the rest of the 8 are also silent. And Sakura keeps just tormenting them about Naruto gone. Everybody in the village just keeps tormenting people who actually cared about Naruto. And Danzo would allow this. Danzo being evil right now. And some very shocking things are going to happen. Believe me. Believe me. Believe me. And let's go to when Itachi and Kisame show up quickly. Actually, they would have already shown up, right? Yeah. But let's flip over to the Akatsuki first, and they would get. That's when, let's say Deidara and Sasori are coming back from spying, and then they would say, you guys completely ignored the mail. And they would say, the newest one is, Tsunade sends you, Tsunade is now 5th Hokage and is now Danzo. And Itachi, hearing this, says, that's not good at all. Tinleaf Village is probably going to collapse in a few years. And that's when he would say, well, the next one is a girl named Ino Yamanaka and Jiraiya, one of the legendary Sannin, as well as Naruto Uzumaki. And that's when he kind of gets a surprised look and Pain Rex, what is it? And that's when Deidara continued. He would say, have been banished from his village, have been banished from the leaf with Tsunade. And then that's when he would say, a tailed beast banished from the village. I've never heard of that. It's interesting. He really wouldn't think that they would collect their best military power. That's when Kisame say, as well as 2 Sannin. Honestly, they already lost all their Sannin. You never know. All the Sannin could team up again. Eventually. Or not. Maybe they'll destroy another village and they'll attack a leaf or something like that. You never know what'll happen. They would also say, and then, he would think, and then Itachi would say, so after my brother left the village with Orochimaru, that snake. Actually, no. Yeah, they're not going to the Hidden Cloud Village, but they did destroy the bird going there. So they didn't want everybody, freaking world, to know. the freaking world to know. They're actually trying to find Orochimaru. So, say first, my brother goes to Orochimaru now. We have the Nine-Tailed Shinchuriki, 2 Sannin, and a girl also going to, possibly going to Orochimaru. And that's when we would leave off to see Orochimaru standing and walking out, him seeing the Sannin there. And I don't want to end it, but I'm going to end it in cliffhanger. I might do another one today. You never know. And goodbye.